It was always cold on Whitlow Road. Even in the summer shade, a bitter wind seemed to crawl through the cracks in the walls. But that November, the cold felt different, sharper, like something was watching. The house at number 17 had been empty for years. Locals said it belonged to a man named Thomas Griggs, an ex-surgeon, retired, reclusive. No one had seen him in months. Some said he moved away quietly. Others whispered he never left at all. Then came the smell. A neighbor, Mrs. Lattimore, called the police, said something was leaking from the basement window, said the smell made her dog scream, not bark, scream. 2 officers were sent to investigate. Officer Keegan, young, cocky, joked about raccoons or a busted water heater. Officer Price, older, quieter, didn't laugh. She'd seen things you don't joke about. They knocked, no answer. They broke the door in. It swung open too easily. The house was silent. Dust hung in the air like fog. The furniture was still there, plates on the table, as if someone had just stepped out and then never came back. The basement doors that was open. Price led the way, flashlight trembling in her grip. The smell got worse with every step. At the bottom, they saw it. Thomas Griggs, or what was left of him. He was sitting in a wooden chair, still wearing a blood-soaked surgeon's coat. His eyes gone. His mouth stitched shut. A rusty scalpel was clutched in his right hand, and behind him on the wall in something dry and dark. I took what I gave. Forensics later found hundreds of handwritten journals, all about eyes, pain, silence, darkness. Turns out Griggs had been experimenting on people, drifters, the missing, the forgotten. He wanted to know what the body felt in absolute darkness, in silence. He called it the quieting. The bodies, what was left of them, were buried under the basement floor, all blind, all tongueless, all dead. But here's what they didn't put in the papers. The autopsy showed Griggs didn't die from blood loss. He died of shock, like he saw something right before the end. His heart exploded. That was 2 years ago. The house is still empty, but sometimes when the wind howls just right down Whitlow Road, people swear they hear screaming, not loud, muffled, like it's coming from behind a wall. They said room 413 had been out of service for years. Water damage, faulty wiring, under renovation, they claimed. But everyone at the Grayson Hotel knew the truth. Something happened in that room, something they buried with cheap wallpaper and silence. It started in 1998. A traveling nurse named Elena Voss checked in on a rainy Wednesday. Room 413, alone, paid cash. She was never seen again. The hotel manager knocked on her door the next day. No answer. Housekeeping said the do not disturb sign never left the handle. After 4 days they opened the door. The lights were off. The air cold. Elena's suitcase sat by the bed, still zipped. Her ID, phone, wallet untouched. But she was gone. No sign of a struggle, no blood, no fingerprints, no body, just a chair turned to face the window, and on the mirror, written in the steam, though no one ever turned on the shower, "He watches when you're still." The room was sealed, quietly. No press, no police report, just locked and left to rot. Years passed. Staff said they'd hear tapping from inside the room. 3 soft knocks. Always at 3:13 a.m., sometimes a whisper, sometimes breathing. One guest swore she saw a pale hand pull the curtain shut while walking past in the hallway, but when security checked, the room was still sealed. Then came Marcus, the night clerk. Young, bored. He wanted to impress a girl he liked, a housekeeper named Tasha. He said he'd spend one night in 413, record everything. He brought a GoPro, a flashlight, some whiskey, smiled into the camera and said, "Let's find a ghost." They found the footage the next morning. The memory card was slid under the manager's door. Marcus wasn't in the room, but the video was. It started normal. Jokes, drinking, then static, then screaming, a man's voice. But not Marcus, deeper, like it came from inside the walls. And then silence. But the last few seconds, the camera turned by itself, faced the mirror. There was something in the reflection. Not Marcus, not a ghost, just a chair facing the window, and on the mirror, written again, "He watches when you're still." They sealed the room. For real this time, bolted, bricked. No one talks about room 413 anymore. But if you check into the Grayson Hotel, don't ask for a room on the 4th floor. And if you pass by that hallway late at night, don't stop walking. There's a diner out on the edge of town. Old neon sign. Always flickering. Locals call it Mary's. though no one named Mary has worked there in decades. It's the kind of place that never really closes. Rain or snow, 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. Someone's always in that booth by the window. Booth 6. That booth used to be his. Earl Whitman, a regular, came in every night, 10-12 p.m. Sharp. Black coffee, no cream, no sugar. He never missed a night, didn't talk much, didn't smile, just sat there, always alone, always watching the door. Then one night, he didn't come. Jolene, the night waitress, said it felt wrong, like the air shifted, like the lights dimmed, even though the bulbs were new. She said she checked the clock 3 times that night. 10-12 came and went. No Earl. She shrugged it off. People disappear all the time, move away, die, quietly. But that week, something changed. A smell. Faint, metallic. The kind that clings to your teeth. Then came the flies. They thought it was a dead raccoon. Under the floorboards. But when they pulled up the wood, right beneath booth 6, they found bones. Small, childlike, wrapped in pillowcases. Shallow, 5 sets. They arrested Earl 2 days later. Turns out, he had been under investigation for years. 7 missing children, between 1981 and 1995. No evidence, no bodies, no witnesses. Until now. They had DNA, they had names, they had bones. And that booth, that was his trophy room. Every night, he sat right above them, drinking coffee, watching the door. While the parents lit candles, Ma sent taped missing posters onto telephone poles. He confessed to 6 of the murders, never said a word about the 7th, or where they were. He died in prison. 6 months later, heart failure, or so they say. The diner covered the floor, repainted, refurnished, but booth 6, still empty, always, even when the place is full. No one sits there. And sometimes, late at night, Jolene swears she sees someone sitting there, just a shadow, no face, staring at the door, waiting for 10-12.